It's time for some rustic Jenga block DIYs. Hey Bestie, this is Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. If you want to craft your best life with me, then let's get started right now. For this Jenga block DIY, we're going to use 22 blocks. And what we're going to make is a cross out of the space between the blocks. All of these rows will have 3, but they'll be placed in a way that exposes a cross. So I showed you in the very beginning in case you want to screenshot that or freeze it. And then I'm just going to start gluing each row together with the hot glue. I decided to only use hot glue for this one. I'm going to try doing that and see if that works just as well as what I used to do with 2 different kinds of glue, because I've had other people say that theirs have held really well with just glue, hot glue, so I thought, let's try it. So now I'm going to start placing these pieces that I have already glued together to the top piece above them. And like I said, creating a space for what will look like a cross. I think this is so appropriate for Easter time. We know that the cross is so important in the scheme of things because Jesus died on the cross for our sins and to save us. So this to me is a very important kind of a project. And I think it's going to just turn out beautiful. So I'm continuing to assemble and glue the pieces that make the cross. And because I laid it out ahead of time, I know what I was going to do. So that's important to have a plan for these Jenga block projects because you are building something. It's like playing with blocks, you know? I think that's why it's so much fun. It takes us back to our childhood. And now I'm just going to attach the last piece that completes the shape of the cross. I think this is turning out beautiful. Now it needs a stand, so I'm going to take 4 more blocks, glue each of the 2 sets together at the short end, and then I will attach them to the very bottom of the cross. And this is such an easy thing to do and a great way to make a stand. Now off camera, I took my antique wax and I just went ahead and put that all over this piece, and I forgot that the camera was off. So I just want to let you know, it's just easy. I just painted it on. I didn't even rub any off because I wanted the dark rustic look for this one. I thought that would be really, really pretty. And there it is, completely assembled. You'll have to let me know what you think. I think it turned out beautiful. It's rustic and it was very easy to make. For this Jenga block DIY, we're going to use 19 blocks, this little kind of a cap, a wooden cap from IKEA, and some jute twine from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to put the side that has a lower bottom on the bottom. And then I'm just going to start positioning the Jenga blocks all the way around, attaching them at the bottom of the block to the side of the little round lid. I think the lid goes to like a glass canister. I'm going to work my way all the way around. Now that I've got them all on, the last space is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to take the last Jenga block and I'm just going to use my miter shears. This is a tool that I get from Amazon and I really, really love it. And I'm just going to start kind of cutting off the edges until I get the right size, and I'll sand down where I cut so it's nice and smooth. And then I will attach that the same way that I attached the other ones. And it's hardly noticeable, but it's just the perfect way to finish this off. And there it is, complete. Now I'm going to add some hot glue around the bottom. You won't see it, but I just want to add some extra security to those pieces since they're only attached at the very bottom. Now I've got these beads. I also get these on Amazon, and I'm just going to hot glue 4 of them to the bottom as the little legs. This is like either a candle holder or, you know, just a little round container that you could put things in, and it's just going to be so pretty and very rustic. Now I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to brush it on and then wipe off excess. So it's like turning this into a stain when you wipe it off. So I'll just go around and do that on the whole thing and see how it just lightens it up a little bit to rub it off. And there it is. I also did the top and the very bottom of the Jenga blocks, and I left the inside. I thought that looked really pretty to leave it natural. Now I'm going to take the jute twine and hot glue the end on and wrap it around many times, as many as you want, whatever look you like. This is adding to that rustic feel. And then at the end, I'll cut off a piece and glue that down. And honestly, that's all there was to this one. Very easy. I love how it turned out. Now I did put a candle holder in it. I think that might be a little redundant. Could have just put a candle in there, but it's just what I had handy, so I went ahead and put that in. You'll have to let me know what you think. I love it. For this Jenga block DIY, I'm going to use 20 blocks, and then I'm going to use a shower curtain ring and two little actually square blocks from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start by creating kind of like a cross shape, and then I'm just going to hot glue each end to the little wooden square block. And this is going to be the very base of a lantern that we're going to make. Now I'm going to take 3 Jenga blocks and put them on each of the sides of that cross and build that up. And there it is. You can see I've added all 3 on each side. And now I'm going to create the same piece like I did on the top. So I'll be attaching 4 blocks to that little square block, making a little cross. And then I will hot glue that to the very top of those 4 sides. I'm also going to reinforce the underneath part just because I want to make sure this really holds. And there I am, figuring out how I'm going to place it, and then I'll start adding the glue and attaching it. You have to pull a little bit because it never lines up perfectly when you first do it. So just carefully, I kind of stretched them out very gently. I didn't want to break anything, and that worked out just fine. And there it is, a symbol. Now I'm going to take that little shower curtain hook and I'm going to clip off the little piece in the middle because we don't need that. And then it's just going to sit very nicely on that block on the top. You can see that. But I'm not going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to take some rope that I got from Walmart. I'm just going to hot glue it around the entire shower curtain ring. And I just glued it, and especially at the beginning, I glued it like every time around. And then I just wrapped it maybe 2-3 times, glued it, wrapped it again 2-3 times and glued it. Because it stays on pretty well once you get it going. And just do that all the way till it's finished at the end. Hot glue the end and cut off the excess. Now I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint and the plaster color, and I'm going to paint this entire lantern. This is a great color if you're going to do something rustic because it's like an off-white, and then when you distress it, it looks really nice. So there it is, all painted. Now I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to very lightly dry brush. So you put some on your brush, wipe most of it off, and then just rub it around the edges or wherever you want any distressing. And I'm using a very firm bristle brush because that makes sure that it kind of goes on lighter. It won't be as saturated. Anyway, I'm going to do the whole thing. There it is, and I think that looks very nicely distressed. And now I'm just going to hot glue the handle that I made right on the top. And I think this is just coming together beautifully. I love the finished product. You can put a candle in there. You can put greenery. I put a cute little pig because it looks so farmhouse, and I love this little pig. Anyway, you'll have to let me know what you think. For this Jenga block DIY project, we'll need 28 Jenga blocks. We're also going to use some very thick rope from the Dollar Tree. Now, I'm going to be gluing 6 pieces together along the long sides. I'm going to do that twice. Now I've got my little base, and then I'm going to put 2 pieces on each side. And I'm going to leave the corners kind of open, and there's a reason I'll show you in a moment. So I'm just going to glue each of those sets of 2 together and then glue them to the sides of my base. Now this can be a candle holder, a place where you can set a cup, whatever you want. It's just really, really going to be a versatile little piece. Bestie, I just want to tell you how much I enjoy your company and having you here, and I love the interaction in the comments. Continue to get to know each other. We have such a wonderful community, so many amazing people. I'm grateful for all of you, and I just wanted to say thank you. Now that all 4 sides are attached, we're going to go ahead and cut the end off of the nautical rope, and I'm just going to hot glue it across the top and make kind of a little loop in each of the corners, and that's where that open space comes into play, because you'll really be able to see that. And again, I'm going for a very rustic look here. I thought this would just turn out beautiful. So I'll glue this on all the way around until I get to where the ends meet, and I'll cut it off and attach the end. Now I'm going to add another row of the blocks over the top. So I'll put 4 sets of 2 together and then hot glue them right on top of the nautical rope, because I wanted to create a layer over the top so the rope is laying right between. And I've never seen anything quite like this. I'm sure it exists, but I just haven't seen it. So I thought it was really fun to try this idea. You could put anything you want actually between the layers. I've done something where I put like little pearls in there. You could put beads, whatever you want. I'm going to go in the corners and reinforce with some hot glue. So that's the finished piece, and now I'm going to add the antique wax, and I'm just going to paint that over the top with water on my brush, so it waters it down quite a bit, and then it really does become like a stain. You can see how light that is compared to other pieces I've done. But I dip my brush in water before I dip it into the paint every time, so that dilutes it, and I just love the effect that has. And there it is, all finished. I love the way it looked. I just put a little candle holder in there. You could put anything you want in there, and you'll have to let me know what you think. I love this one. Ready for more inspiration? Here's another video I think you'll really like. If you click on it, I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.